stayed interesting.
Glad you were here for those goblins. Picked one off yesterday myself. Shot her through the throat. Well, that should have killed her, but she kept gasping. Clawing at the arrow. That's what Zevlo said too. I hope you're right. I want to help. I just didn't think it would feel like this.
More goblins. What's next?
Glad you made it inside. Doubt we'll be safe here for long, though. There'll be more coming. Goblins hunt in packs. You think? That's something, at least. We're not trained fighters, though. I'm guessing you have plenty of both. Be nice if I could say the same for myself. It'd be even nicer if we were on the road to Baulders Gate already. If the road was clear, a 10 days walk maybe? But while the goblins are out there, it might as well be the other side of the world. Like we're being watched.
Aradin's back with his tail between his legs. I'm glad for your help, but I'd hoped you were Halsin. The druid in charge of this grove. At least, he was. Guess if he didn't come back with Aradin, that might not be the case.
Not everyone subscribes to what is mine is yours, it seems. Here lies Cannon. He gave his life defending others. He will be missed.
I care about our lives, our futures.
No, you just care about your stupid apprenticeship.
Take that back, right now.
Refugees, adventurers, no one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long. Just some bits and bobs I no longer need. Sylvanas, guide your path.
Calm down. Please.
I won't leave them behind!
You're going to get us killed!
This grove is kept by Sylvanas's faithful.
If we left, we could at least make a run for it.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blades and spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay! These people aren't fighters. We can help!
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
How dare you!
Prove him wrong then, if you think you're able to, that is.
Zerg! Fine. We'll stay. If we survive, it'll make for a good story, I suppose.
Thank you, Roland.
We should have left by now. Damnation! Instead, we're just sitting here, practically begging to be attacked. Staying is a mistake. You don't understand. My apprenticeship with Leroican begins shortly. I cannot be late. Yes, that Leroican. The greatest wizard in Baldur's Gate.
I've heard that name before. A young man, yes? Lives in Ramesses Tower in the upper city.
The very same.
Word in Waterdeep has it he's a bit of a cad. But you say he's an accomplished wizard.
Of course he is. The greatest spellcaster along the Sword Coast. As if I'd settle for a lesser mentor.
In that case, I'd very much appreciate it if you could arrange an introduction, should we reach the city.
If it's powerful acquaintances you're after, you have to look no further than yours truly. Few can match me, in either magic or talent. In years to come, you will boast of this meeting, I can assure you. May we meet again in Baldur's Gate, my friend.
This place is a bloody death trap, not a sanctuary. You should clear off while you can.
Haddock seems a little too interested in me.
stares right past you, as if you're invisible. Or boring. You see nothing out of the ordinary. When you turn back, there's no trace of the child.
Can't keep the goblins out forever.
How long until Roland shows up?
We're no warriors.
Depends. How many people are dumb enough to ask?
True. We've known enough grief this 10-day traveler. Don't be the cause of more.
Children! Look who's here.
Oh, right. Go for the heart. Next time the goblins come, I'll be ready.
This is boring. We should train against real goblins.
Step, parry, strike. Damn it! It's just not landing. Well, I'm in no position to turn down help. We need to be ready for a fight, but I'm useless with a sword. He was only a boy. Froze while the wall tore his head clean off. Never again. You're right. I need to clear my head. And step, parry, step, step, swing. Yes! You really know what you're doing. Found this by the road. Bet you'll put it to good use. Don't let the druids hear you say that. They're itching for an excuse to get rid of us. But I'll keep at it. Thank you. Oh, yes. I'll bite my tongue when the time comes.
How many people are dumb enough to ask?
The Blade of Frontiers. What a thrill for the children.
They're tough kids. Smart, too. The future's in good hands.
Can I name my sword?
Go right ahead.
Go on. Give me a best shot. Not bad. Again.
I can't do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this.
You're on the right path, Umi. Go on now. Practice what you've learned. Well met. The Blade of Frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held.
Hell's great fires. You were on the ship. Doomed to shed our skin and become a lithid, or so the stories go. But we haven't sprouted any tentacles. Not yet, anyway. Could just be good luck. I'm not so...
Your minds collide once more. Will chases the fiend ignited with rancor. She is an infernal war devil. A threat to the living. Evil incarnate.
Shit! You saw her. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
A fiend makes for poor company, unless it's been stuffed and mounted on your wall. Her name is Karlach, an archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill.
I tracked her through the hells to the Mind Flayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her.
She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses. Just so you know, my first duty is Karlach. I'm oath-bound to go after her. But I won't deny this infection is bothersome. I accept your invitation. You'll need to make room if you want to partner up, though. Still, when the time comes, call for the blade. I won't be long to answer. A splendid plan. We'll talk more there.
Trust no one. Neither seen nor heard.
Can't keep the goblins out forever. This is no fortress and we're no warriors.
Let's have a rummage.
You're being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now.
Careful, I bite.
Stop! This place is off limits. Leave. To happen. Of all the bloody things to happen. I won't say anything. Just don't hurt me, please.
Let's get going.
I won't say anything. Just don't.
Goblins, druids. This grove is a death trap. Grab what you can and get out. That's my advice. Is that everything?
How long do you think we've got before the goblins come?
Don't be grumpy, Roland. We'll get to the city soon.
I am not grumpy.
The scowl on your face would frighten a troll.
You're an idiot.
Those goblins will rue the day they chose to tangle with this grove. You and I will do some good here. I can feel it.
Lee and Roland would never admit it, but they take an arrow for the other. Also stab each other. Not sure what will come first. Thanks for cutting in. There might have been more than words if you hadn't.
You! Sword
you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can. You've been on hard times too, huh? Look in your eyes says otherwise. Here, have more. We'll need every bit of strength to make it to Baldur's Gate. Trust me. That old bucket.
Why, hello there. Ah, if it isn't the talk of the camp. It's a rare day when I see one of you lot about. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh! There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Aha! You take a sup of that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie. Oh, 'tis just a healing potion, nothing fancy. Here. You just look like you might need a pick-me-up. I'm sorry to go on about it, but are you all right? You're looking awful peaky. Oh, stop! Even on a good day, half the camp acts like a bunch of screaming brats. I'm tempted to smack them all on the backside and tell them to kiss and make up. Not that they'd listen to little old me. Anyway, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale. Hey, bother. Take care now.
Depends. How many people are dumb enough to ask?
True.
The Blade of Frontiers. Let's hope Will lives up to his name. We'll need all the help we can get.
Good to be back behind the walls, have to say. For as long as that lasts.
If it ain't the fearless Goblin Slayer, you sure you want to be seen with me? I ain't exactly popular with this lot. You're out of luck. Alcin, druid who runs this place, knew his stuff. But he ain't here anymore. Think he's got an apprentice running around somewheres, though. Nadine, Natalie, something like that. We've got a contract to track down some relic, and he wanted in on the job. Eyes lit up when he heard about it. Didn't work out, though. Goblins got him when we were turning tail. He's either digging latrines or boiling in a cookpot by now. Job's all yours, if you got a death wish. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic, supposedly buried round these parts. But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it. It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you the map and wish you a happy funeral, but my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own todger. Goblins made sure to the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. It'll show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying. Don't thank me. I'll be well on my way to Baulders Gate when you die. Yeah, right.
The rat's eyes soften as he emits a pained squeak. You realize the source of his discomfort. One of his front teeth is chipped. The rat pauses, gauging whether his chipped tooth is in fact life-threatening. Apparently satisfied, he beckons you with the squeak. Follow.
You sound like your father. I'd die if I met Leroic and reeking of this place. I'll never get the...
The rat squeaks excitedly. The chest is free from danger once again.
Of all the bloody things to happen. Come on, just move.
My faith will guide me.
Swing and swivel and wait.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it
So,
could have.
we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel.
Of sorts. Used to be a bread-and-butter tinsmith before Elturel fell into Avernus. These days, my talents are more eclectic. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Hope to forget most of it. But, between you and me, there's nothing in all the realms like the utter power of infernal machinery. Alas, my offerings are far more humble these days.
Take me. What I wouldn't do for best tools.
Right. I've got food. What will we do for work when we get to the city?
Whatever we want.
I think I'd make a fine teacher. Or a baker. Or a butcher.
A butcher? Really?
Sure.
Right.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baulders Gate. Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out. Thanks. I suppose we'll all need it.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city?
Know what you mean.
Do we ever?
But I've heard there's all sorts in the city. It might not be like it was in Elturel. I mean, in Baulders Gate, they give you a chance.
Good luck to you. Wish us a little too. I think we'll all need it.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. A mending of the threads between life and death. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more. Because it is my calling, there is little else to explain. A matter of coin. Then I shall wait here patiently until it is acquired.
Something the matter?
Whatever it takes.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
The Githyanki people have a word for men like the Blade of Frontiers. Shalak. Roughly translated, idealist do-gooder. Or better yet, benevolent burden. His confidence is an asset. His pursuit of valor, not so much.
I've known a few warlocks in my time. Talented, of course, though sometimes too eager to listen to the devils on their shoulders. Comes with the territory, unfortunately. Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, City of Splendors. I am a wizard of considerable acclaim and scholar of exceptional accomplishment. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There. Certainly. That I have a great respect for privacy, for instance, especially my own.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it. And she was planning to return. One of the archdevil Zariel's own. Chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach. Even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking. The damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. All right. What else is on your mind? A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means. I've come to know a fair few village clerics, but none with the skill to pull these worms from our heads. From what I understand, there's a healer called Nettie in the Grove. Perhaps she's got the talent. We should pay her a visit. My father once said, "One does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call." So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. I left him with his uncles. 5 years on, and he's flourishing. If only every child was so lucky. I mourn the ones I could never save, whose cries I never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. I shouldn't be surprised. You are a great talent. When darkness falls, you make your own light. The helpless, though, they need the light of others. They're the ones who seek out the blade.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zathis purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities. I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
Yes? Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
Something the matter? We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little? I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course. Home. Baulders Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible. Thank you. And you're right. It's a delicate matter. not something for light conversation. I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises? Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. Personally, I think finding this Halcyon is our best bet. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith crash will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind. How do you feel? Yes, me as well. Besides the occasional mental exchange, it's almost as if we're not infected. I feel good. It's so strange. Do you remember the voice aboard the ship? Sorry, but a problem shared and so on. We should discuss this. After they put that tadpole in my eye, I heard this voice. It was soothing. The voice said I'd become a beautiful weapon. What do you think that means? Whatever they were, those plans were interrupted by the dragons. Either way, we can't take the lack of symptoms for granted. We have to find a healer. Well, I've said my piece. Get some rest.
Abominations grow inside us. Our bones should ache, our mouths should bleed, yet we thrive. It is madness. Keep your rest short. Time is not our ally. Speak.
Sounds like you've been learning all about your gruesome future. I have to say, I thought you'd look worse, but no. Not a tentacle to be seen. Indeed you could. We're all doing surprisingly well, given the circumstances. I'm not taking anything for granted, of course. First sign of change, and I'll have to stop that pretty little heart of yours. I am open to suggestions. Knives, poison, strangulation, whatever you'd prefer. Don't be so pig-headed. I'm being practical. How much damage will you cause if you transform? How much blood can you bear to have on your hands? I do like you, you know. You've got fire. Whatever happens, I'll make the right choice. Sweet dreams, darling.
Be with you in a moment. Not a trick, my friend. Magic. Be that as it may. Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of? Spot on. Day 1, fever and memory loss. Day 2, hallucinations and graying skin. Day 3, hair loss and blood leaking from all orifices. Need to go on? Day 4, excruciating pain as the skeleton and organs reform and reposition. Day 5, the host personality has disappeared. Fingers and toes and limbs elongate. I take it you get the picture? Day 6, the flesh around the mouth splits to make way for tentacles. Day 7, a mind flayer is born. This is the annotated version, of course. My point is this: our orifices remain blissfully unblooded, our heads remain clear, and our blood temperature normal. Any expert will agree this is abnormal. I'll toast to that. The pragmatic in me, however, sees only the silence before the storm. Something to sleep on. We should get some rest.
Question for you. Have you ever heard a banshee scream? For the best that you haven't. An agonizing wail. Loud enough to wake the dead and shrill enough to shatter a golden goblet. I thought it the most terrible noise in all 16 planes. But there's one even more fearsome than that. Not even close. I find them comforting, even. What I'm thinking of is far more malicious. The doubt in our minds crying out for attention. It's hopeless, it says. Stop resisting. Give up and give in. Doubt is the greatest villain we face. Greater than all the hell's devils. Greater than a murderous god. Most people don't find it so easy to conquer. It's a good thing for us that we aren't most people. Slay your doubt and nothing can stop you. Not a demon, not a dragon, and certainly not an illithid worm. I'm glad to see you're not one to give up.
Need something?